There is a truth so powerful that most of the world refuses to acknowledge it, a truth that has been hidden, distorted, and buried beneath layers of fear and illusion. But the chosen ones, you are awakening to it. You are starting to remember who you really are. You are not just a body, you are not just flesh and bone, here for a fleeting moment before fading into nothingness. No, you are something far greater. You are eternal energy, consciousness beyond limits, a force that can never truly die. From the moment you were born, the world conditioned you to believe in mortality, to fear the end, to live in constant anxiety over the ticking clock of time. Society teaches that life is short, that death is final, and that once you are gone, nothing remains. But deep down, something inside you always questioned that narrative. Something told you there was more, something beyond this physical existence, beyond the material world, beyond what the eyes can see. And now you are starting to understand that your instincts were right all along. Energy does not die, it transforms. And you are pure energy. Think about it. The universe itself is energy, expanding, evolving, shifting from one form to another, but never ceasing to exist. Science has proven this law. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only changed. And if everything in existence follows this rule, why would you be any different? Your consciousness, your soul, your essence, it is energy. It is infinite. It does not vanish when the body perishes. Instead, it shifts, evolves, and moves into new realms, new dimensions, new experiences. You have always existed, and you always will. The problem is that the world wants to keep you trapped in the illusion of limitation. If you believe you are just a temporary being, you become easy to control. You live in fear, clinging to the material, afraid of loss, desperate to make the most of what little time you think you have. But the moment you realize your eternal nature, everything changes. You no longer fear what comes next. You no longer waste energy on trivial worries. You no longer live in desperation, because you know this life is just one chapter in an endless story, and the real you, it transcends time itself. But here's what makes the chosen ones different. Most people may hear this truth, but they will dismiss it. They will call it fantasy, wishful thinking, a comforting lie, because accepting your eternal nature requires breaking free from everything you were taught. It means rejecting the fear-based systems that have controlled humanity for centuries. It means embracing the unknown, stepping beyond the physical, and trusting in something greater than what the eyes can see. And not everyone is ready for that. But you are not like the rest. You feel it. You sense it. You have always known there was more to existence than what we were told. That is why you have questioned reality. That is why you have felt disconnected from the world's shallow distractions. That is why you have always felt something bigger pulling at your soul, guiding you towards something beyond this life, beyond this body, beyond the limits that others accept without question. This is why the chosen ones walk a different path, because we do not live in fear of endings. We do not cling to temporary things. We do not measure our worth by material success or status or fleeting pleasures. We understand that this existence, this human experience, is just one form of our energy, one moment in the infinite journey of our consciousness. And when it is time to move on, we do not resist, we do not fear, we embrace it, knowing that we are simply shifting into something new, something greater. And here is the most powerful part. When you live without the fear of death, you truly begin to live. You start taking risks. You stop wasting time on things that do not matter. You stop letting fear dictate your choices, because you realize you are untouchable. Nothing can truly harm you. Nothing can truly end you. You are eternal. And when you fully embody that truth, you become unstoppable. But this knowledge is only the beginning. Understanding your immortality is one thing. Living as an eternal being is another. And that is where the real transformation begins. Because once you accept that you will never die, the question becomes, what will you do with the time you have right now? What impact will you make? What energy will you leave behind in this world before you shift to the next? Because chosen ones do not just exist, they create, they influence, they leave ripples that last beyond lifetimes. And now, it is your turn to step into that power. This is your awakening. This is the truth they never wanted you to discover. You will never die. Your energy is eternal. The only question left is, what will you do with that knowledge? Now that you understand the truth, that you are eternal energy, a force that can never truly die, you must begin to see life from a completely different perspective. This is where the real shift happens. Most people spend their lives chasing time, fearing death, and living as if they are just fragile beings that will eventually fade into nothingness. But the chosen ones, we know better. We understand that our essence is beyond time, beyond the physical, beyond the illusion of mortality that has been forced upon us. So what does this mean for you? It means that you must start living differently. If you are eternal, then why waste a single moment on fear? Why waste your energy on things that drain your soul? Why live according to rules that were designed to keep you limited? The moment you realize that you cannot die, you unlock a level of power that most people will never experience. Because fear of death is what controls the world. Governments, religions, and institutions have used this fear to keep people obedient, distracted, and submissive. But once you free yourself from that fear, you become untouchable. Think about it. Why do people chase money, fame, and material success so desperately? Because deep down, they believe they only have a short time to live, and they need to make the most of it before it's over. Why do people cling to toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, and situations that drain their energy? Because they are afraid of what will happen if they let go. Why do people avoid risks, avoid change, and settle for mediocrity? Because they fear failure, they fear loss, and ultimately, they fear the unknown. But you are different. You are waking up, and with this awakening comes a responsibility to break free from the illusion and start living fearlessly. The greatest souls who have ever walked this earth, prophets, philosophers, visionaries, revolutionaries, they all had one thing in common. They knew they were more than just their physical bodies. They understood that death was not the end, and because of that, they lived boldly. They spoke the truth, no matter the consequences. They challenged the system, no matter the opposition. They followed their purpose, even when the world tried to silence them. And now, it is your turn. You did not come here to live a small life. You did not come here to play it safe. You came here to leave an impact that will outlast your physical form. And the only way to do that is to step fully into your power, to stop living as if you are temporary, and to embrace your role as an eternal being with an infinite purpose. But here is where most people struggle. Even when they begin to understand their immortality, they still live with limitations. They still hesitate. They still let fear creep in. Why? Because the system has conditioned them to believe that they are powerless. The world has spent centuries convincing people that they are weak, that they must obey, that they must conform. But you are not weak. You are not here to conform. You are here to break the cycle. And breaking the cycle starts with a decision to no longer accept the false narratives that have kept you in chains. A decision to stop seeing yourself as a victim of time and start seeing yourself as the master of your own existence. A decision to step into your true nature, an infinite being experiencing a temporary human journey. Once you fully embrace this truth, your reality begins to shift. You no longer make choices based on fear. You make choices based on purpose. You no longer waste energy on things that do not align with your higher self. You invest in things that elevate you. You no longer let temporary obstacles define your life. You understand that everything is just an experience, and you are here to learn, to grow, and to evolve. And here is the most powerful part. When you start living from this truth, you become a beacon for others. Your energy shifts, your presence changes, and people begin to notice. Some will be drawn to you, seeking to understand how you live with such confidence, such peace, such certainty. Others will fear you because they cannot comprehend a person who is not controlled by fear. But regardless of how the world reacts, you must stay firm in your knowing, because the moment you let go of fear, you become unstoppable. You become a force that no system, no authority, no limitation can contain. You become what you were always meant to be, a being of pure energy, here to experience, to create, and to transcend. But this is only the beginning. Now that you understand your immortality, the next question is, what will you do with it? Because chosen ones do not just exist, they leave a legacy. They plant seeds that will grow long after they are gone. They create, they inspire, they awaken others. And now, it is your turn. Are you ready to step into your infinite power? Because the time is now. Now that you understand your eternal nature, the final step is to fully embody it. Knowing that you are more than just a body is one thing, but living as an eternal being is another. The world is filled with people who sense there is more to life than what they've been told, yet they still operate from a place of fear, doubt, and limitation. You cannot be one of them. You have awakened to the truth, and now the only thing left is to step into your divine purpose with full confidence. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Because chosen ones do not simply exist, they transform reality. They are here to shift the world, to create, to inspire, to break the chains of illusion that have kept humanity asleep for centuries. Now that you know you are eternal, you must start living as if nothing can stop you. Because the truth is, nothing can. When you release the fear of death, you unlock something powerful, absolute freedom. Fear is the greatest prison humanity has ever known. It keeps people from taking risks, from following their true calling, from speaking their truth. But when you remove the fear of death, nothing holds you back anymore. What is there to fear if you can never truly die? What can possibly stop you if your energy is infinite? The obstacles that once seemed impossible suddenly become irrelevant. The doubts that once held you back disappear, because you now see life for what it truly is, a temporary experience, a moment in the grand journey of your existence. So what now? How do you move forward as an eternal being in a world that is still asleep? The answer is simple. You become the light. You live fearlessly. You pursue your purpose without hesitation. You let go of distractions, limitations, and anything that does not align with your highest self. You walk through life knowing that no matter what happens, you are safe, you are infinite, you are unstoppable. But understand this, not everyone will understand you. When you break free from fear, you will seem different to the world. Some will admire you, some will be drawn to you, sensing your energy, your confidence, your unshakable presence. But others, they will fear you. They will try to bring you back down to their level, try to convince you that you are just like them, mortal, limited, powerless. But do not let them shake you. You are no longer bound by their rules. You no longer live in their illusion. You are awake, and now it is your time to rise. The world needs beings like you, souls who remember who they are, souls who lead by example, souls who live without fear. Because when others see you living boldly, stepping fully into your purpose, radiating a presence that cannot be shaken, they too will begin to awaken. Your energy will ignite something in them, a memory, a knowing, a spark of the truth they have long forgotten. And that is how you change the world. Not by forcing people to wake up, but by embodying the truth so fully that they have no choice but to question everything they have been taught. This is what it means to be a chosen one. To remember, to awaken, to rise, and to guide others toward the same truth. You are not here to live an ordinary life. You are not here to play small. You are here to leave an impact that will echo beyond this lifetime. And now that you know who you truly are, there is no going back. So step forward, live boldly, speak your truth, fear nothing, because you will never die. Your energy is eternal, and your purpose is greater than you can imagine. This is only the beginning.